So usually I'm the other way. I sit here and then like the camera is here and then like the window is in my face and it all looks great, but now it's too dark because Norway winter was happening. I'm filming my wrap up and I know I could be standing in front of my shelves, but standing for that long is not in my skill set. So we are doing a new angle again. I hope you don't mind. It doesn't really matter. It's just what I says that matters. Filming my September wrap up. I know we are in October. We are actually probably in November, let's be real. I took a break filming and I'm trying to do this quick because filming a wrap up is like running a marathon. It feels like I can't speak, I can't think, everything feels like hell. This is all the books I'm gonna wrap up. They're lying like this. That's usually how they lie when like I have a camera there. I read 25 books in September. I read everything on my September TBR, which is on my channel, except like 2 short stories that like I didn't get to and then like I didn't need to read them anyway for the thing that I was gonna read them for. So I just decided to not do it. So like that was like Beckett's story, Samuel Beckett, and like The Yellow Wallpaper. So sorry about that if you were excited for my thoughts. Actually, like I think 2 or 3 people commented I was going to read The Yellow Wallpaper. So like that was the only thing people commented on, and I ended up not reading that one. So yeah, I try to like when I film my TBRs to actually read the books I'm talking about because I know it's frustrating when book tours don't. I don't know. Do what you want, but I know that some people are frustrated by it. And that's why I film my TBRs to like hold myself accountable for what I'm gonna read. This is a lot of talking before actually doing the thing. But yeah, I'm gonna do my wrap up for September. Read 25 books. Gonna do quick because I don't want to sit here for the rest of the year. As per usual, I will show you my God of thing for autumn books. That was the first month I did that. So that I don't need to talk about them in this video. And there's already 4 done. Wait, where are they? They're these. Oh my god. You did not see or hear that. That's like a sticker I took off and then fuck the book, okay? So, it's so casual right now. I love it. These are the 4 books. I read The Snowman by Jon Esbø, Atekisa or Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I have it in Norwegian. The Ask and Answer by Patrick Ness. The Stars and the Blackness Between Them by Junuda Petrus. Is this correct? Yeah, I had to double check. These are the 4 books that I read for God of Thing for autumn. This will be in my God of Thing for autumn wrap up probably in the end of November, which we are now in. So yeah, I need to hurry up and film that so I don't film it too late. So yeah, I don't need to talk about these now. So yay. Does that work? Can you like see them behind me? Or we can have them here. Oh my god, it's probably really dusty there. That looks great. It's fine. So the first book that I'm actually going to talk about, but I will be brief on this one, like very brief, is The Bookweavers Daughter by Malavika Hanan. Sorry, I'm using a list because I don't remember what I read in my head. Hello. This one was an arc that I got from NetGalley. And I have a full review of this on my channel actually, so that's why I'm going to be so brief. I will link that down below, go and check that out if you want more of my thoughts. But basically, it's about this girl that I can't remember the name of, Maya I think, and her father dies so she becomes a bookweaver because she's the bookweaver's daughter that can like weave history kind of. And then like these people are hunting her. And it could have been a really, really fun YA, finding out your secret powers, being on the run thing. But like writing and like just like big moments writing instead of like actually making us care about what was happening ruined the story for me, so I give it like 2 out of 5 stars. And yeah, again, more thoughts in the actual review. So yay for brief thoughts. And then finally, and then I mean finally, started Demon Slayer or Kimetsu no Yaiba, which is a manga series but also an anime. I watched all of the anime and this is by Koyo Haogoto Uge. It follows Tanjiro, who family is murdered by demons except his sister, and then his sister is turned into a demon but she hasn't devoured any humans yet, and he wants to like turn her back into a human, so he needs to find out a lot about demons and therefore becomes a demon slayer because they interact a lot with demons. That's the start of the story. It sounds like maybe like a typical manga anime thing, but it's so good. That what was weird for me is that in the anime they use so long time on certain events, like they use many episodes on like the development etc of Tanjiro, and here it just like was 1 volume and we already were like so far in anime, so I feel like the big events that like should have had a lot of weight felt like they waited less here in the manga. But since I already watched the anime, it didn't bother me, and I don't know what I would have thought about it if I hadn't already watched the anime. I'm not saying it was bad or anything, it was just like that weight and that like really intense dramatic story was like less dramatic here because like the author is definitely focusing on like moving on the story, but in anime it was just like we're gonna go into every single detail, and like both works fine. I really like the to experience both. I really do like it. I really enjoyed the anime. I'm really excited to read on with the series, which I already have done, but yeah, more thoughts on that later. And yeah, I'm just so excited that I finally started this because I've been wanting to read it for like almost 2 years now. But yeah, finally started this series. Yay. I read Beastars Volume 2, which is by Paru Itagaki. It follows animals and they're out at school, and in this world everyone is animals. So like they act like humans basically, but they're animals. But like they're not completely humans, because there's this whole thing where like the prey and the hunters are like not eating each other, or like the hunters would eat the prey obviously anymore. Like they're all basically vegan, but like there's always this thought that like they will attack them and kill them, kind of. So there's just really interesting contrasts in this whole thing. They have like their own names, but now I can't remember them. And in this one, oh yeah, that happened. In this one, our main character is a big grey wolf, so he's like really thought about like scary, one of the most powerful animals, but of course he's just a pure soft-hearted dude, and I love him so much. Nagoshi, and he's in a drama club, and in this one, in volume 2, they are setting up like a play, and does it go well? You need to read it to find out. But yeah, in the first one there was this murder happening to one of the people in a drama club, but we don't know who it is yet. And then there's just like him also maybe falling for someone that he shouldn't. It's not like I'm saying he shouldn't fall for them, but there's definitely contrasts there. There's so many contrasts in between all the relationships. And yeah, I read a nice one too, but more thoughts on that in the next wrap up, I guess. But yeah, it's a really good series, and yeah, I haven't watched all of the anime, but it's just yay. I'm so glad that I feel like this is going a bit fast. I then read A Torch Against the Night, and this one was actually my audiobook, and this was a reread, and I'm kinda talking it together with my other read, which was A Reaper at the Gates by Saboteur as well. Both of them are by Saboteur, if you didn't get that. And this is the second and third book in the Amber and Ashes series. So Amber and Ashes follows Laia, who is in the Empire, and Empire is like really suppressive against scholars, and she is a scholar, and then her family is killed and her brother comes to prison, and to free him from the prison she has to work for the rebels, and they want her to spy on this really intimidating and scary figure that works for the Empire. That's called a commandant. And yeah, we also follow Elias, who is a mask, and Mask are like the assassins, the most coolest warriors in the Empire, but he doesn't want to be a mask anymore. So yeah, that's how the story starts out in the first book. One of my favorites of all time. I reread A Torch Against the Night on audiobook, and Amber and Ashes I reread on audiobook in May, maybe a month earlier this year. I read this for the first time because this last book in the series is coming in December. This is my preparation for it. First of all, I had forgotten the biggest plot twist in this one. I don't know how, but I just forgot it, and when I was like listening to the audiobook, I got so shocked, even though I already knew it was gonna happen. So like I feel like an idiot. But yeah, it was so good. This one just takes the story to a new level. I was so scared that this would suck because second book tends to do that, but it was just so good. It was so good the first time I read it, so good the second time. Loved it. And here, of course, I didn't know what was gonna happen, and obviously I'm not gonna tell you because spoilers, but like the story took new heights and just was amazing. I think like of the three of them, I'm only holding two, but of the three of them, I like this the least, just because I feel like it didn't have the punch that the other ones got as much. But like I still give it 5 stars and I still adore it. I just feel like I liked it the least, just saying. But yeah, it really changes the story. You really think that story is going to go somewhere, but it's not. It is just going everywhere, and like things happen in the third one that I did not expect would happen at all, like so soon, or like at all, or in that way. And now I cannot wait for the fourth book, and I don't have words apparently. But yeah, this is one of my favorite series like of all time. I was scared to read this for ages, which is why I read it so late now, because I wanted to wait closer to the last book when I knew that was gonna come. I have no regrets of waiting though. But yeah, the punch this got though. I love that I said I was fast, but now I'm using ages talking about these two. But yeah, recommend this so much, and I will read anything Saboteur publishes, like ever, just saying. I love it when I can pipe things together, because then it takes a shorter time to do this. The next reads, like they weren't after one another, but they are now, was My Hero Academia. So I read volume 23 and 24. And My Hero Academia is, if you don't know, an anime and a manga as well. I have not caught up on the anime in ages, by the way, but yeah, I'm ahead in the manga. We are set in this world where 80% of the population has a quirk, aka a kind of a power, and is turned into a supervillain superhero society, and we follow Midoriya, who wants to be a hero, but he doesn't have a quirk. So yeah, he starts a hero school, and it follows them becoming the heroes they're supposed to be, and villains and stuff. In I think the in one of these, the author actually wrote that he never planned to like do character cards and etc. from the villains because he didn't want them to seem human, but now he has changed a lot, and like now we're following the villains. We finally kind of ended like a storyline that I don't like, where like they just fight each other, like the kids, and then like there's like a development because it's happened so many times before. But here the story picked up because it literally only followed the villains for like a whole volume, and I just thought it was so interesting to follow different characters and to know what they're doing and what they need to do to reach their goals, which are completely different of course from our heroes. And I just really liked, like, I don't know, it's maybe a bit of sidetracking, but it was very interesting, and I really like just like a totally different part of the story that we hadn't seen before. I'm really enjoying this. I always love this. It's one of my faves, but I also think that it's the kind of series that I feel like it's never gonna end, and I say this in every single wrap up I feel like, but I want to give warning that people like maybe don't want to be busted for a billion volumes. That's maybe not the series for them, but like I love the characters, I love the world, I will keep reading this, but I also feel like I want a conclusion at some point too, and I feel like we are developing literally at a snail pace, and that is frustrating as a person who like pushes plot over anything else almost. That sounded very dramatic. Like I love characters, I love good things, but I love world and plots a lot too. But yeah, the plot is fun, but it's moving slowly, but I'm still excited and I'm still reading them and I still love them. So yeah, I don't know what more to say. I'm just saying the same things in every single wrap up about these, I feel like. So I'm sorry for being so repetitive. Oh, they were the wrong way. Oh my god, and then I read Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and this one I was supposed to read a billion years ago for this English class and I never did. Now I did, because I actually just like had to for reasons. And yeah, I don't even know to tell you what this is about because I don't really get it, even though like I should get it, but I don't get it, and I didn't like it. I gave it 1 star. I haven't given 1 star to anything in a while, and I don't want to talk about it because I feel like I couldn't discuss it at all. Overall, I was confused, and I hated how it was written, and I hated the things that was happening, and I hated everything about it. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I just didn't like this at all. Usually I give 2 stars if like I am feeling really negative towards something, because usually there's something like I like there's one part of it I like that can redeem it. But this one had nothing for me. Just nothing for me. So, moving on. Then I luckily read something much more fun, which was Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Barron. This was the Faes and Gaze book club pick of the month, and Faes and Gaze is a book club that I'm co-hosting where we read a queer fantasy or sci-fi book every month, and I don't know why I'm moving my hand like this, and I will leave all information about it down below, which is like in my description of all my videos, so like it's not anything new. But yeah, Cinderella is Dead was our September book. Our live show of it has already happened, so I will leave that link down below too if you want to see a bigger discussion on it. This one follows Sophia, who live in a world where Cinderella has been dead for 200 years, and we see what Cinderella's story, how it has affected a society which is very much awful, and it basically is like all the girls in the country needs to go to this ball every year and be chosen as wives, like happened to Cinderella kind of. And yeah, there's reasons for this, and there's also like a romance in this because the main character is so gay, and I'm so for it, and it was just feminist and badass and fun. Though I agree that like it's read as a lot of younger YA. I don't mind that as much because I read a lot of middle grade, etc. So I'm used to a younger tone to a story, and that is fine. But it's just like a perfect story if like you want to get into reading, you want to recommend someone a book that like they like fantasy and they like cool things, but you don't know like they're gonna start reading, maybe they haven't read as much. It's perfect, and it's also like so important to have this book for young black girls that can read about themselves and see themselves in story. And also it's an awesome retelling, but also more of a reimagining of a Cinderella. I just like the idea of it all, and also the performance. Like, what more can you want? I really enjoyed this though, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I then read Promised Neverland Volume 8 by Kayu Shirai, and this one is one of my faves. It follows these kids that lives in this orphanage, and then they find out this really awful secret about the orphanage, which I'm not going to tell you, but that's all I can say about the plot, and it frustrates me every single time. I feel like when I finish the series I need to like make a whole video about the whole thing because it is so good. This one had plot twists I did not need or expect. Did it happen in the end? I don't even remember. Yes, no, it didn't happen in the end, but this one shocked my pants. Like, I say this, I feel like every time I'm talking about this, but like every time I think the story is just like gonna chill a bit, it's not. Every time I think the story's gonna go somewhere, it's not. It's just takes everything to the next level, takes everything in a way that you don't think it's gonna go. We're only in volume 8 and I feel like so much has happened, and there's just like so many developments and secrets that you could never imagine, and I am shocked in my pants of just like how good the story is and how it keeps just getting better and better and better. And yeah, I will recommend it with all my heart, and it's so good. It's like it's just taking place almost as fave soon, because I am freaking out. And then I kind of forgot I read this, but I read Gjenganger by Henrik Ibsen. I think this is Phantoms or the Ghosts, one of those in English, and I read this play for reasons, like a Norwegian classic, of course translated, because Henrik Ibsen is like known, and I guess it was fine. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, I don't have any emotions. I think I gave it 3 stars, which is like granted a high rating, but like I didn't hate it. It was interesting, but it's a play, and I think it's interesting to read like more classics in like what's important in Norwegian literature and stuff. I don't really have that much more to say, because now I kind of forgotten I had read it. I just looked at the list and I was like, oh, I read this. Let's move on. I read Queens of Fenburn by Kendra Blake. So this one is a, oh, I kicked the camera, short story collection set in the world of Three Dark Crowns. And I finished Three Dark Crowns the month before, and I had a short story collection, which is like before the events in Three Dark Crowns, and like also one of the like queens before. It starts almost with a birth, but it starts also like before the birth, and like, yeah, a bit of different queens in the story of Fenburn, and like I really enjoyed it. I miss actually these people, even though like the conclusion to the series frustrates me and there's parts of the series that frustrates me, I still really enjoyed it. And yeah, I forgot to say what it was about. We get set in Fenburn, which is this island, and every generation it's born triplets, and they are supposed to fight each other to death for the crown, and this is how it's always been. And we follow the 3 different triplets in this generation, and they all have different powers, etc. It is a fun concept. I just think like the author tried too hard to like do the unexpected. I enjoyed it. I do like the series though, but it wouldn't be like the first one I would recommend, but I do like it. It has some really fun parts. But yeah, this was just a fun addition, and was just to like, now I read this, now I actually completed the whole series, since this is obviously a part of the series. If I didn't read it now, I would never, because like since I finished the series the month before. Yeah, I think I gave it like 2 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it. I don't even know. I then read Rich's Spirits by Kat Cho, and this one is the sequel / companion to Wicked Fox, which came out last year, and I really enjoyed listening to the audiobook of that one. And this one follows like the 2 side characters, I call them side characters, in Wicked Fox, Lee So-min and Junu. Yeah, Junu and So-min. So-min is the best friend of Ji-hoon in the first one. Junu is like another character that I feel like if I tell who it is, it's kind of spoilery. But yeah, we follow them, but we also see Ji-hoon and Mi-young, of course, from the first book, and they all like they're all part of the story, but like you don't follow their perspective as much, so it's like more the other characters' story. And yay, this has like so many great things from Korean mythology, and it has like they need to save the day story, and it feels also like a Korean drama sometimes, and I just adore it. I adore the setting, because we're in Seoul, Korea. I adore like the atmosphere of the story. It just feels like so nice. I don't know how to describe it. I really enjoyed this one, and I really enjoyed the first one, but it just has like this really like contemporary setting, but we are like fantasy and there's creatures and they need to go out and do things to save the day. And yeah, it's just very enjoyable, and it's getting so dark. I don't know if you can see it, and I feel like all the things I want to say about this I have forgotten now. These last few books I had to like run through because I was so behind on my TBR, and it's almost sad. But yay, I feel like to not take too long, I would just move on, but I feel like I didn't talk about this at all. But just know I really enjoy it. I really recommend these. I just don't have brain cells enough to talk about them. I then finished Rune and Rising by Lee Bardugo. This one I listened to the audiobook of because I'm rereading Grishaverse, and yay, I finished now Shadowbow Trilogy. I mean Trilogy, I don't know what I said there. I kind of have forgotten how it ended. I think it's kind of funny, but I did enjoy it. I like this, okay? I think of course I have flaws, but I like this. I feel like in the end of all wrap-ups I'm like slowly but surely losing it, because I didn't even say what the Wiki Fox and Witch's Spirit was about. But check it on Goodreads. Checked out this on Goodreads. It was a reread, and I did enjoy it, and I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars. I don't remember. But yay, now my next rereads in this series are obviously Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, which I will hopefully get to in November. Yay. This is going great. What is even happening? I don't know. Then I read Darius the Great Deserves Better, which is a sequel to Darius the Great Is Not Okay, which is one of my favorite books of all time by Adib Khorram. And yeah, it follows Darius, who's like struggling with his family, struggles with depression, tries to around because his grandfather is sick, and like fights culture and life and family and friends and everything. It just balances all this so well: relationships, depression, finding yourself. And yeah, I was scared it wouldn't be as good in this one, but it was just so good. 5 out of 5 stars. So good. I talk a lot about this in my favorites, but just like all the elements, the story. Here Darius is like openly gay as well, has come out of the closet, which I like was hinted on in the first one, but here was like on page. It's like very direct, and I loved it so much. It was so good. I feel like the heart of Darius the Great Is Not Okay, which I love so much, was like captured here perfectly. I will just throw this book at people, like the first one first and then this one, because they're just so good. I don't get how he does it. I want to have a chat with him because I adore this so much, and I want to have a chat with him of how he was capable of making that good story in the first book again here. I'm serious. I have no idea how. I then read Given Volume 3 by Natsuki Kisu, and this one is the volume 3 in this Given series, which followed this band, and everyone turned out to be gay. I'm just saying. They are happy, but they're not. Apparently everyone just says they cry and they're so sad about this. So I'm actually just scared of why will we be crying. Why is it sad? Why is it not a happy story? That's what I want to know. They're in this band. It's getting cool. Getting shorter and shorter by the volume. I don't know why, but I'm screaming because of it. I'm really enjoying myself. I have watched like 2 or 3 episodes of the anime. You can actually listen to the music they're playing, so it's really nice. But yeah, I'm reading this and I'm really enjoying it. And again, everyone really did turn out to be gay, and I'm still screaming about it. And here, the gayness just exploded. And it's so pure, and I love it, and I'm scared of how much I will cry later. I then read Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor, which is the second book in Daughter of the Smoke Bone trilogy. And I love Laini Taylor. Stranger Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares is 2 of my favorite books of all time, and I read Daughter of the Smoke Bone and did really enjoy it. But this one lost me a bit. I think this is like a bit older YA trilogy, and definitely I think I felt the second book syndrome here. I don't know why. I just feel like nothing really happened. I feel like the events was just kind of strange. There was a lot of back and forth, and now I kind of forgotten the whole thing because like, yeah, it was so long, like 500 plus pages. I feel like we didn't get almost any development in the story, and as I said, there was so much back and forth. We were saying one thing and it was doing one thing and it did one thing again, and yeah, I just like, it's not been that long since I read the first book. I think I read it in February this year, and like I feel like I just lost the connection with the story because like I feel like we're just doing things. I was like, what are they even doing? I don't even know. I can't describe it. I was very confused too. I don't know why. Like in the beginning I was like, what? But that's maybe because I wasn't remembering everything from the first book, which is fine. But yeah, give it like 2 or 5 stars. I was kind of disappointed because I did enjoy the first one a lot. I didn't hate it. I don't hate Laini Taylor or anything. I just like was let down by this sequel. But hopefully I will like the conclusion to the story more, which I'm still enjoying. And she has still beautiful writing. And I do like enjoy the characters and the stuff, but I just feel like the plot was a bit all over the place in this one. Even though the end was a bit like, whoa, they need to do this thing. And it was cool. So I'm excited to see where we'll go in the third one. Yay! I then read Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This one is the second book in the Lunar Chronicle series. I think I read the first one in like 2016 or something, ages ago. And I actually remember kind of what happened, but I had a lot of like, they repeated what happened there in this one. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, this one is basically like Scarlet's story, which is like Red Riding Hood, and she meets a student named Wolf, and her grandma is missing, and she needs to go out to find her, so it's her retelling this time. Still follows Cinder from the first book and the events that happened after that. So yeah, just more added to the story, and they come together, and it's cool. So I'm really enjoying this series. As I said, I read the first one a few years ago, so I need to like continue actually maybe this time. I'm just bad at finishing series in general. I've had a lot of fun with this. I was glad after I read the other one, like the second book in the series, and then I read this one, and it was really good, so I was happy about that. They are like retellings of different fairy tales set in space. I didn't say what Daughter of Smokebone was about either, because like I wouldn't even know how to describe that book, by the way, like a synopsis, a short one. So we we are rolling with like not explaining all the books here. I'm really sorry for my existence right now. But yeah, I ended up getting this 4 out of 5 stars. I feel like there's not much more to say about like the plot and stuff, but I really enjoy the characters and I keep looking that way and I don't know why. I'm sorry. I then read Bloom Into You Volume 6, which is the 6th. Why is it so damaged on the back one? I'm sorry. Which is the 6th volume of by Nakata and Neo in the series, and it follows, I was gonna say these 2 girls because they're usually both on the cover, but this is Nanami and she has this thing with this girl named Yu. But the story didn't turn out to just like 2 girls making out. It turned out to be so much more. In this one especially, we see Nanami's characters really grow and get to this point, and then it ended in this, I would say heartbreaking, but it made me scream cliffhanger that like I need to know what's gonna happen now. But yeah, I have the next volume. I'm soon done. It's only 8 volumes apparently. What the heck? Which I'm like glad because like I, as I said, want some mangas to actually finish one day. It's really, really cute. But like, I love that it's not a story that just like make them make out all the time. Just be like, oh my god, we are sexy manga. It's just a story really with the characters and see them develop and stuff. And I really like it. So yay. Really enjoying it. That's all I got to say about that. And then I read The Dream Thieves by Maggie Seawater, which is the 2nd book again to the Raven cycle. And yay, I read a lot of sequels this month because I'm trying somehow to like get somewhere in all the series and I'm in the middle of. I read Raven Wars earlier this year. I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it as much as a lot of other people did. And then I read this one and I don't even remember. What did I feel about this? Can someone tell me? Apparently I had to check, gave it 2 stars and I couldn't even remember when I gave it, so I don't know what I'd tell you about how much I care about this story. I feel like I did like the concepts and I think it's a really weird atmospheric book. I feel like the story again here was all over the place. It wasn't like a concrete, I feel like we went a lot of sidetracking from like the main plot. I guess like this was more focused on like the different characters, especially Ronan, and like I don't care that much for Ronan right now. I know a lot of people love him, but I don't know what I feel about him yet. I think like, as I said, the concepts, the magic, the things they're gonna do and stuff is fun, but I also just like feel like I didn't care most of the story. And now I would still finish the series. I have the whole series because I buy the whole series before continuing it. Also, like, I don't tend to GNF anything, so yeah, I just feel like this was like all over the place and like we lost the focus that we had in the first book, but I'm still gonna continue. Apparently 2 out of 5 stars, and yeah, my brain is just like scrambling to remember even what happened right now. This is very bad, but yeah, yay. We're at the end. As you can see, my pile disappeared and it's all in the window now. The last book or manga I read was My DressUp Darling by Shinji Fukuda, and this one came in plastic, so that should tell you that this is a bit, you know, M-rated, mature, and it follows Wakana Gojo, who makes like small dolls and stuff, and he loves that hobby, but like he doesn't want to tell people because he's scared it's gonna be seen upon as weird. And then there's one girl in his class who's like super sexy and like one of the most popular girls, who also turns out to be super nice, like not that he didn't think he was nice before. She has like a cosplay dream, so he makes a cosplay thing for her, and it's like very sexual, but like yeah, and hilarious also as well. And it's just like I wanted something different, something new. Cecilia from Cecilia Reads said she read this and then liked it, and I was just like, okay, I will check it out too. And then I saw it and I was just like, sure, dirty shit, give it to me, because I was in the mood for some yeah, it's not like even bad, it was just like I feel dirty reading it, but it's also funny. So yeah, I don't know what more to tell you. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was an enjoyable story. I'm gonna continue with it and yeah, see what will happen. I feel like a pervert, but like it's not my fault, I swear. So I feel like we used less time than we usually do. I tried at least. I feel like I also lost it as per usual in my wrap-ups. But yeah, I hope you still enjoy it. And now I need to somehow do a thumbnail. I would just like do it here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You'll see me soon in a new video. And hopefully my October wrap-up won't be like as late as this one. Probably not. Don't believe in me. Oh my god, the dust from the window. That's gross. Bye!